Back to Steiny and Guru on 95.7 The Game.
I'd forgotten about that. That's an oldie but a goodie. All right, let's go out to the phone lines and welcome in Damien Barling, 1320 ESPN in Sacramento. And the first question is, you're known as D-Low, correct?
That's it, yeah.
Where's the low come from?
I made it up.
I love you, D.
You can't do that.
I told him how it goes down.
You can't do that.
No, I was using, like, when I started, I was doing, like, overnight shows for our hip-hop station out here in Sacramento. And I've always hated the name Damien. And so I needed, like, something, and I knew I was going to do something with D. Like, all right, that's a cool letter. And, it was 2001? So it was still kind of attitude era at WWE. I was looking at the TV. There was D'Lo Brown, and
Careful.
I thought, D'Lo, that's it. That'll work.
Appreciate it.
I got it to a couple of people. I was like, what do you think? And that's how it is. So, yeah, completely made up.
All right.
There it is.
Yeah, we don't talk wrestling here. It's a trigger for us.
I'll tell you why later, D. Yeah.
Hey, like, obviously tonight's a big game, probably bigger for the Warriors than Sacramento. Mike Brown, what was it, gamesmanship with 7 of the top 8 questionable? What do you think they're going to do tonight, Sacramento?
I don't know, Steiny. I was actually surprised he did that. I didn't think that was going to be the approach tonight. Part of me wonders if that's maybe setting things up a little bit for Sunday, and he's going to play guys tonight and sit guys versus Denver. That just doesn't, we have speculated this on, for weeks because the Kings have had their playoff spot locked up. We kind of knew they were going to be the 3 seed. There have been a couple of chances for them to move up. They missed a really big opportunity when they lost to Dallas, and of course, compound that with the loss to San Antonio last Sunday. But Mike's the guy who he's been practicing. They've been running. They haven't had a ton of days off, knowing they're going to have 5 to 6 days between games. Not even taking into account what they do Sunday versus Denver. I really thought those guys would get out there and run. I'm still not sold on them not playing tonight. Clearly, some guys won't. He can't sit everyone who was on the injury report. But maybe we won't see De'Aaron, which I absolutely thought we will. Maybe we won't see Domas, or maybe we won't see them as much. But I was a little surprised when the injury report dropped last night because I didn't think Mike would take that approach. I understand why he is, by the way. I just didn't think that he would.
D, pleasure to talk to you, man. Sac has been good to me. I got a home there, and I work, and I'm from the Bay. So I want this series to happen. Like, I really do, for everybody. I think it'll be good. But when I think about the Warriors, I think about the big 3, Clay, Steph, and Dre. Now, when I look at the Kings, they've been a great story, D. To me, it's Fox, Sabonis. Who's that third? Like, who's their third most important player?
Oh, man, it fluctuates. Some nights it's Kevin Huerter, and some nights it's Malik Monk. Some nights it's Trey Lyles. Some nights it's Keegan Murray. And I think that's one of the beauties of the makeup of this roster and the way that the offense runs. Everybody gets an opportunity to eat. And, Keegan having, 200-plus threes. Kevin Huerter having 200-plus threes. There's only 3 teams that have multiple guys with 200-plus threes. One of them, of course, is the Golden State Warriors. The other one is Portland with Dame and Anthony Simons, the Warriors is Steph and Poole. And then it's Huerter and Murray with Sacramento. And those guys are options most nights, 3 and 4 scoring. So I just think that speaks to the flow of the offense, is that everybody can get a bucket on a night. There is no definitive third guy. It kind of fluctuates and rolls with the flow of the game and who's got the hot hand. Sometimes it's Terrence Davis. Sometimes it's a person off the bench. Mentioned Malik earlier. That's just the way this offense goes.
Damien Barling joining us on 95.7 The Game. He works for 1320 ESPN Sacramento, knows the Kings inside and out. There's some fascinating things about this game tonight. One is, if the Kings rest a bunch of guys and essentially punt on this game, aren't they saying, we'll take the Warriors in the first round?
No, I don't think that's what they're saying. I think Mike is operating solely off the best interest of his franchise, no matter who the Kings play. Because I think what it really boils down to, I think what it really boils down to is we've been asked, and it's a topic of discussion on our show. We've been talking about it with our audience. We've been talking about it with each other. Who do you want the Kings to play? Who do you want the Kings to play?
Yep.
The fact is, the Kings are going to be an underdog no matter who it is. No one's going to buy the Kings beating the Clippers, even without Paul George. No one's going to buy the Kings beating the Golden State Warriors. No one's going to buy the Kings beating the Lakers. No one's going to buy any of that. So if I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, we've done our job for, 80 games at this point. We've done our job for 79 games at this point. We've secured our spot in playoffs. It doesn't matter who's at 6. Fans we can come up with these different theories that it's saying this, it's saying that. I believe Mike is approaching tonight's game, and I believe he's going to approach Sunday's game with what he believes is the best interest of his team. He can't control what the Warriors do. He can't control what the Lakers do. He can't control what the Clippers do. They're going to play somebody in the first round. They're probably going to be an underdog in that first round, and they're going to have to find a way to win home games at a better clip than they did during the regular season. That last thing I said is the only thing Mike is going to need to worry about. It's the only thing that this Kings team is going to have to worry about. Doesn't matter who they play.
D, it's amazing, and I know the Warriors got 4 titles, and the Kings are the 3 seed. Just an incredible year. Coach Brown, probably Coach of the Year. That's not even close. But how can they, if they do hook up, I wonder where the Kings go to draw that confidence, because they're going to be underdogs. Like, what's that look like from a King perspective to try to take down the Splash Brothers and company?
I keep going back and forth on the Warriors. As recently as yesterday, I thought the Warriors, I really do think the Warriors and the Kings are 2 of the top teams to come out of the East, like the 2 best opportunities. A lot of that has to do with, admittedly, watching Phoenix just seem to be unbeatable with Kevin Durant. A lot of that is I get hung up on what I saw last year. And I don't think the Golden State Warriors were the best team in the league last year. I don't even think for 4.5 games they were the best team in the NBA Finals, but they ended as champions. I don't think they were the best team in the Western Conference. They ended as champions. I saw what happened to Phoenix last year. It's tough for me to get that out of my head, even though I know Kevin Durant team now. I saw what virtually the same exact Warriors team did last year. It's tough for me to get that out of my head. That's why I think so highly of them. But, Goo, I got one for you. The Golden State Warriors, they're like the Bloodline. They're dominant, right?
Yeah.
At some point, the Bloodline is going to come to an end. At some point, Roman Reigns is going to come crashing down. That's what I keep thinking about with the Warriors is, man, as good as they are, man, they really defied things last year. Could they do it again? Like, the Warriors are not the best team in the Western Conference, but could they do what they did last year? They're not the best team in the NBA, but could they do it again? And the Kings are going to have to believe, like, yo, we're that team that could beat them. And you look around the Western Conference, and the Kings struggled against those big dogs out east. Against those top 3 teams out east, they were 0-6. But you look around at this Western Conference, you can come up with any scenario for any team. If you're a fan of the Nuggets, you've got a scenario for them being the Western Conference champion. If you're a fan of the Golden State Warriors, you've got a scenario for them being the Western Conference champion. And you can do that with the Clippers and the Lakers and the Grizzlies. You could do that with virtually everybody. And for me, everyone says, if LeBron James and Anthony Davis, if those guys stay healthy and those guys stay locked in, boy, the Lakers are scary. If Andrew Wiggins can just get back and get that cohesion with his team, boy, the Golden State Warriors are dangerous. And all of that is true. But no one drops an if for Sacramento. And the if is really simple. If Sacramento scores their average, you lost. That's it. If Sacramento scores their average points per game, you lost. No one ever says that because they give you the line, well, the game is different in the playoffs. And I thought Jordy Fernandez, Kings assistant coach, had a great line a couple of weeks ago. He said, yeah, traditionally, the game does slow down. It's our job to not let it.
Good stuff.
That's what they have to do, play their game.
Damien Barling joining us on 95.7 The Game. He works for ESPN 1320 in Sacramento. All right, you shot down my one theory about the Kings laying down tonight to say we want the Warriors. What about this? I'm looking at the schedule. These 2 teams haven't played for almost 5 months.
Now you're cooking.
So
yeah, now I know where you're going.
Okay.
Now.
So,
when the
Warriors and Kings played 3 times for all intent and purpose, the Warriors were probably like, it's same Kings. But they're not the same Kings, as we learned the whole season. Is there something to maybe Mike Brown doesn't want the Warriors to even see this version?
See, if we're going theories, right? If we're going conspiracy, that's the one I believe in. That's the one I brought up yesterday, where I was like, I think the day was November 13th, November 18th, somewhere around there was the last time these guys played. They were like 6-8, 5-8, something like that at the time.
November 13th. Yep.
Both teams trying to kind of find their way. And it's like, man, that was a really long time ago.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
What if they just kind of ran almost like a preseason game, right? Like just ran a generic game plan against the Warriors to get to, the Warriors still having, to take care of business. The things falling in place with the Clippers, the Lakers, all those other different John Dickinson scenarios that he threw out there. But you do that, just give them a vanilla look and let them rely solely on game film against other teams. Now, I think there's a lot of film, by the way, in those 3 games against, from early in the season, because the Kings did. I think there was one game where the Kings were up pretty big and then blew it. I think there was another game where the Warriors were up pretty big. So, I think there's enough film there, man, but it was so long ago. I think Keegan has really got into a groove, has really developed over this short time. I think they figured out some nuances of their offense that are probably a little bit different than they were in November. But I like that theory a lot.
D, let me ask you this, man, because I like to have fun as much as the next person. But I love my motto in life. My partner will attest is I give credit where credit is due. Talk to me about the light the beam. I feel like King fans have always been hardcore, but I feel like it's brought them together, and whoever came up with the concept deserves a raise. Talk to us about that, man, because I don't think I can remember a sport team. The Warriors had "We Believe," but that was a slogan. Light the beam after every dub. I mean, talk to me about that and how the fans are reacting.
It's been the probably the greatest. It's been one of the most important parts of the season. Obviously, the Kings winning is the most important part, but in terms of gathering fans together. I know there are the jokes about Google and Yelp and the place of worship and all of that stuff. Google, after a game, man, that outside that arena in downtown Commons, when you look up and you see that purple beam in the sky, it's just jubilation, man. It is the happiest place on earth, man. You're high-fiving strangers, you're hugging everybody, you're taking pictures. It's a very unique angle to get the selfie and the beam, and you got to work really hard to get the selfie and the beam. Then you find people who they get, hey, could you take a picture of me in front of the beam? And they're lying on the ground, trying to get the beam and the faces in the shot. It has been the ultimate unifier with Kings fans who have been so discouraged for so long. And our man Young Dell wrote a song about it that we play after every win. It is just like the beam chants at our watch party tonight. It is such a it is one of the greatest things that's ever happened to this basketball team, no doubt. And it can't go anywhere. You have to have it back next year.
Wow.
You have to if we're really building something, and this team is going to be a piece of the Western Conference playoff picture moving forward, you got to keep that beam around. It's a big deal.
Damien Barling joining us. Hey, before I let you go, maybe not tonight, but once the playoffs start, is there any chance we get to hear some cowbells? Cowbells.
Yeah, I don't. So I'm always confused on this. I think cowbells are banned.
Yeah, they are.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Phil
Jackson.
Will some be snuck in? Hey, I'm a broadcast journalist, man. I don't know anything about that, but if we got a creative bunch here. As part of our Kings fan base, I wouldn't be shocked if you heard about. I could tell you this, cowbell or not, I think the Warriors are going to be the 6th seed. For a while, I didn't think they were. I thought they were going to be the 5th. But seeing the scenarios and what has to happen and some of the news coming in right now, I think the Warriors will be the 6th seed.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the game tonight.
You're going to be in the building tonight, D? I'll see you if you are.
Boy.
All right, I'll see you.
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
All right, D.
Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Damien. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Damien Barling, 1320 ESPN Sacramento.